Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Friday the 13th on the AMD Radeon RX 470 and 570, 4GB. For FPS monitoring, this time I won't be using cam due to easy anti-cheat, which is the anti-cheat software solution this game uses, so I'll be using MSI Afterburner instead. So Friday the 13th, I'll be doing 900p, 1080p and 1440p. To skip any of those sections of the video, check the description below. I'll be using both a G4560 and a Ryzen 5 1400, and by RX 570 I mean RX 470 overclocked, since that's pretty much what an RX 570 is. It's a better RX 470 that is capable of higher clock speeds. That's why the better performance on those cards. This should be pretty much like an out-of-the-box RX 570, so if you don't plan on overclocking your RX 570, this should be a pretty good reference. So first I'll show you the G4560 doing 1080p and 900p. On 1080p I will show you both a 60 frames per second configuration and then a 30 frames per second configuration, which means that I will try to get the highest quality possible but staying over 30 frames per second. Then I'll try 900p with a 60 frames per second target, which will only need to put everything on epic except shadows, which will be kept on high, and that will be enough to get pretty much 60 frames per second with some drops every now and then. Then I will swap to the Ryzen 5 1400 and I will try 1080p and 1440p. I'll first there test the RX 470 on 1080p, then the 570, and then I'll do just the RX 570 at 1440p, trying to get 60 frames per second, which will mean the lowest setting, and then I'll just try the highest setting possible without dropping below 30 frames per second, and that'll be pretty much it. Please note that to get to 1440p I had to use the resolution scaling slider, so I selected 134%, which means that on each axis of 1080p, 1920 by 1080, I use 134% of each value. So 134% of 1080 is around 1440 and 134% of 1920 is around 2560. I would have to actually select 133.33333%, but that value is unavailable, so I just use 134%. It's less than 1% difference, so keep that in mind. So this game was made using Unreal Engine 4, so I was expecting it to be quite demanding on the GPU. What was very interesting was that in the system requirements, the recommended GPU was a GTX 750 Ti, so I'm not sure what the recommended settings mean. There's even an i3 listed in the recommended requirements, so that's kind of nonsense for this game actually, because I tried it with a 1050 Ti and I couldn't max it out on 1080p without drops below 30 frames per second on some places. So I don't know what they were thinking when they made the system requirements. And in the options menu we have usually the same settings that you can find on an Unreal Engine 4 game. We have a resolution scale slider, which is good to see for both supersampling and upscaling. Then we have anti-aliasing, which is not listed which solution it is. Effects, foliage, post-processing, shadows, textures, and view distance. So far, to get a good FPS boost, I had to lower most of the settings, but the first ones that I saw the biggest difference in performance were shadows, post-processing, and effects. Those were the ones that I saw more of a performance impact when they were on epic or high, so I suggest lowering those first. And then foliage and view distance have a lower impact in performance, but they still have an impact, so I recommend lowering them in groups, especially effects, shadows, and post-processing. For textures, if you have a 4GB video card, you can play it on Epic without an issue. It was using over 2GB of VRAM with textures on Epic, so I will try high or medium if you have a 2GB video card. But yeah, so far indoors the game runs pretty good when you're just looking for items inside a building. The problem is when you go outside and you have a lot of trees, a lot of foliage, maybe some water here and there. But so far just looking into the distance into those open areas is enough to have a noticeable drop in performance. And in the options menu I had some issues with the resolution. If I chose full screen, the game will just force 720p, but it didn't say 720p in the menu. And if I selected full screen windowed and I selected any resolution I wanted, it will force 1080p. So there's something weird going on with the options menu. That's why on 900p and 720p I'm playing on windowed mode, so I can actually use 900p and 720p. So I'm sorry about that, but the game is just weird with the resolutions. That's why on my videos you won't usually see 1440p and 4K on this game. I found it quite difficult to use DSR since the game is not really going over 1080p for some reason. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Oh my god. What happened?
Copy on mineral therapy. 437.
I can't look. God. Ah! Oh my god. What happened? Why won't you fucking die?